Why, hello everybody, and welcome to Misscliks D&D Seaborn. How are you all doing today?
Oh, just great, Neil.
Oh, it's a lot of responses at once. Fantastic. What's been going on?
I just finished Dice Camera Action on the Wizards channel. Very fun. We ended the episode being surrounded completely by evil wolves that none of us noticed because we all failed our perception checks. So we'll see how that goes next week.
Standard.
What?
You're not scared though, aren't you, Anna? You've had training for this. Years of training.
Yeah, the light of Lathander will save us all.
Tell me, what makes a wolf an evil wolf?
I don't know, but Chris Perkins said they're staring at you with pure evil, so I figured. I put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Smart player.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I just came back from South by Southwest this week, which was really fun.
I saw lots of pictures. How was it? What'd you do?
Great. It was a free event. So it was really different than like say a PAX or something because there were like different audiences every day. And there were lots of kids there, which I never noticed is rare for cons, but it was much different. And so we had lots of kids around the stage, which was kind of fun. I think probably because they're like, Mom, please take me to the con. And Mom's like, I don't want to pay $80 or $90 to take you to the con, but this one was free. So, and Austin with South by Southwest is awesome. So it was like pretty chill, really fun. Good Twitch people. Yeah. But I'm exhausted. That just makes me goofier. So hopefully that's good for the show. What about you guys?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Angband lately. Angband's this really old school, like late 90s roguelike dungeon crawler. It's 100 floors of a dungeon, randomly generated every time you go up or down a floor. And there's no story, there's no plot. It's just like grind, get gear, kill things, move on. And it's ridiculously hard and brutal. There's no saving. If you quit and come back in, you can load the same character. But if you die or if you want to if you make a mistake, you're screwed. There is no reloading from that save position. And so every mistake you make is just dangerous. I love it. It's one of my favorite games, but it's really, really frustrating when you get down to like level 50 and then you make one tiny mistake and your character's dead and you put 30 hours into this thing and now it's dead. And you have to start over again at level 1. It's the most rage-inducing game I've ever played, which is why I'll play it for years and then I'll just get so mad and angry I won't play it for 6 years and then I'll come back and play it again. Now we're in an Angband high and I love it and it's great and I can't wait to play more. So that's what I've been doing.
It sounds like a very Neely game.
Yeah, I think that's why I've been such a brutal DM my whole life. As I grew up playing this game where there is no saves. Everything is...
no hope.
Yeah, I think that's why I have my DMing styles.
Nice. I like your DMing styles.
Thank you. It takes
How old a game are we talking here? It sounds ancient.
like 96, 95.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy, I was born when that happened.
No, when were you born?
What?
No, I mean I was already born.
Oh,
okay. Because usually when people say ancient stuff, I'm like, man, I wasn't even born yet. And I'm like, oh man, it's the first time people say ancient and I was born. I'm like, crap.
You are a 90s kid though, aren't you, Jen?
I'm exactly a 90s kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. When I learned that, I was like, wow.
Oh no,
Fresh.
the game came out in 1990. The very first
shit.
edition. Yeah.
With me.
Oh.
Jen and the game both came out that year.
Not weird at all. Actually,
Well, I, for one, am glad that I don't have to play old bad games like that, and I get to instead play newer, better games such as Shadowverse, which is a game I've been playing last week, which is a Hearthstone anime type game.
Wait, what? A Hearthstone anime?
Yeah, it's like Hearthstone, except it took an anime route.
Gotcha.
Cool.
That sounds awesome. Jess, how about you?
I have been up to nothing interesting at all.
You have a big real job now.
I do have a real job, and clearly I've not been cleaning my room. Like, let's just,
Cleaning is not yeah.
let's hey, look at that lamp over there. That's interesting. That's fucking amazing. Look at this lamp. The lamp is so clean.
It's adjusting. And
Is that
stuff.
one of those like UV light lamps that?
It actually is. Yes, it's one of those like sun lamps that like you look at it.
You happy?
Yes.
Oh,
You know-
wow.
You guys know. Yeah.
I used to use one of those to help myself stay awake during marathon streams
yeah.
to get the extra UV light in.
It actually works.
It works.
Is all I'm saying.
Oh,
And, like I
I
wish,
need one of
you know,
those.
I wish they would pay me to say this, but that's how you know it's for real.
Yeah.
Or so you say, Jess. Or
Nah.
so you
Dude, I wish they were giving me money for that. I'd be fucking rich.
say.
Yeah.
I believe you.
All right. So, who other than
Why
Jen
can I
wants
have a week?
to do the recap?
Wait, I have played the Stanley Parable. For once, I've done something else than play Dota.
Oh,
Did
Stanley
you guys
Parable.
try that game?
Yeah, it's so good. I played it back in the day.
I really enjoyed it for like 1 hour and 15 minutes ish, and then I was like, "What's the point?" I've done like 6 endings. Like I'm so over this.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just
a,
look at YouTube videos of all the endings and be over with it for realsies.
it's a short game, but I really like all the little things, the little choices you have, and the things that the narration for each little choice. You know, you just stand there and wait for a little while, and then the narrator says,
Yeah.
"Stanley's an idiot. He just stands there doing nothing."
Oh, it's so good. And like at the beginning, for at least like, I'm gonna estimate the 18 minutes, I had a huge grin on my face the whole time. Like it kind of started hurting. I was like, and I had like the best endings super early on. Like the first ending I got was the confusion ending, which I think might be the best one. It's really good. Really good. Confusing. Perfect. Anyway, that's it.
All
If
right.
you didn't try it, you should.
Who would like to recap for this week? Can we get a Maribel or a Bruno recap, maybe?
All right.
Yes.
Do I get the XP?
Yes, you do. 100 experience.
Awesome. So we were like, dang, we really need to go through this portal that's been presented by our DM since very early on in the campaign that we basically ignored, even though it's obviously a major plot device. So why don't we go ahead and do that? And then for like a little while, we quibbled about how the heck are we going to do that because it might kill us. And also, by the way, we can't breathe underwater. Turned out it wasn't that hard. We also made Bruno go first. And he went first, survived. So we all followed, went to the other side of this portal under the water. The mermaids helped. Mermaids and men, merpeople. The merpeople helped. And ended up on this island. And they were like, WTF, where are we? And this kind of like Hicktown farmer guy kind of took us in and gave us some information and told us we were like far, far away on the other side of the realm. Realm? Is that a proper-
Continent, realm, whatever, all the same.
Yeah. Are we to the, I don't remember which direction. Weren't we west?
East.
West.
Far east.
Okay.
Northeast.
East. And we learned that on this island there is a wyvern problem. And also that the wizard in service of the lord of this area happens to be the same wizard that we suspect of killing Saffron's teacher, the one that had the book that we were looking for. So, you know, plot connection there. And so we'd really like to get to him to figure out what happened to her, but we can't figure out how to do that. So we're thinking that maybe we go and offer ourselves in service to the Lord, try to kill these wyverns, get some info. And in the meantime, there's a reward for killing the wyverns, which is a magic sword, which Maribel is really excited about. And from her perspective, she doesn't really care so much what she does as long as she probably gets to fight something. So she's excited about that. Also, there was a brief interlude with a cow and a razor-toothed scary worm thing. And the cow is gone.
The cow's gone. Yeah. Well, that was not only accurate, but also hilarious. So why don't you take 200 XP for the recap?
Yes! Thank you. I will.
Fine. Next time I'll make it freaking hilarious.
Accurate and hilarious.
Sorry, next time will be my turn, Albert.
We're 11-ish days off from the dragon being upset. We need We need the lady.
Yes, yes. Anywho,
That's all I have to declare.
so here you guys are on your island, Gade Isle, as you have learned its name to be.
Gade?
Gade.
Oh, that's my aunt and uncle's last name.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, easy.
Mm-hmm. And I believe you guys are going to head towards Pine Spur in the morning. You find lodgings with various people, and staying in barns pretty much because there's no inn in this little tiny village. It's just it's a little tiny village. They don't really have anything like that. So you get put up in various places and pass the night away. The 5 of you, because Saffron is here with you, wake up in the morning and take it away.
I'm trying to take it away, but my character sheet is fighting against me. So
Oh no.
I say, Bruno, what do you think of this situation we find ourselves in?
Seems easy to me. We get a guy. That guy gets us to Pine Spur.
A guy.
A guy. I'm sure any of these guys know how to get to Pine Spur. Wait, didn't we already...
No, you guys already went to Pine Spur.
Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Of course, we are already at Pine Spur.
Yeah. Sorry.
That I was like, wait, we did that? Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are
We had
in
a guy.
Pine
We
Spur.
paid a guy.
Yeah. You guys stayed at an inn in Pine Spur. I'm looking it up.
I was having a major sense of deja vu because I think I said almost those exact lines.
Yeah. Right, you guys stayed at the Lakeview Inn in Pine Spur. The only inn in town. I think that's where we ended, is you guys were going to the inn. So you wake up in Pine Spur. Pine Spur is this log cabin-esque architectural town. There's no wall around it, and there's a stone keep in the center. This town is mostly human, but it also has this really large population of gnomes. And as we know from previous adventures, gnomes rhyme as a method of politeness. For them, it's a symbol of intelligence and ability. Your ability to, your wit, your charm, your personality, and being just polite and generally nice to people to rhyme your sentences together. That's just how Gnomish culture is. And of course, they don't expect it of you, but people who rhyme back to them are, oh, that's very polite of you to, recognize my culture and la da 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 da.
Is that how they say it?
La da 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 da. Yeah, absolutely. These gnomes have piped in hot water from the hot lake nearby, and run it through various pipes underneath certain buildings in town. Unfortunately, the Lakeview Inn is not one of them, but you've heard rumors of heated floors throughout Pine Spur done by the gnomes.
Oh yeah, I wanted that tech for our village.
So you guys wake up in the morning, come downstairs to your common room. The inn is fairly empty right now. It actually looks maybe a little run down. You guys are definitely the only people visiting. The back windows, it looks like they used to have glass, but the glass is now gone. They just have shutters over them instead. Some of the furniture looks a little bit worn down. There might be termites around. You saw some grainy bits on windowsills. The building's getting a little worn. So what do you guys do now that you're here in Pine Spur?
Well, like the guy, like our tour guide suggested, we should simply go to that wizard.
Yes, the Lord.
Yes.
We should go visit the Lord, and he has the magic sword.
Lord with the sword, we call him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm practicing my rhyming.
Excellent. You make your way through the early morning streets all the way to the keep here in Pine Spur. You find a small line of people, gathered out front, waiting to be granted entrance for the, morning hearings that they have.
Make way, important business.
People scatter as the 7.5-foot Minotaur says, "Make way, important business." And
Yep.
you know, they
Except
just
more feminine than that.
right. I
It's like make way, important business.
Yeah, exactly.
my feminine voices are pretty bad. It's one of my greatest weaknesses
It's
as a
tough.
DM.
7.5 foot tall Minotaur feminine. It's difficult. It was taller.
Well,
Try it, Hannah. What?
Oh, you did it.
What's your voice of move away?
What's
Yeah, what's your
Marigold's
Minotaur voice?
It's basically what I've been doing. It's just like lower, like this. Make way, important business.
a few people push them, get out of the way. You guys come up to the gate and find it's just closed.
I try to open it.
Do you try just as you would try a normal door, or are you trying to open the doors forcibly?
Well, first I try it as though I think it might open like a normal door.
No, it seems to be
It's locked.
Yeah.
I look around. Do I see anyone?
Yeah, you're covered. There's tons of people around.
No, I mean like guards or anything like inside.
No, it's the wooden doors are shut. You can't see through.
Oh, then
I
I
don't see any
Mirabelle's,
guards anywhere.
As Maribel's looking around, I mentioned to her, these things will open on their own. And we probably should have waited in line also.
You are probably correct.
Yeah.
And then I just stand face to the door and wait for them to open.
You're there a few
Motionless.
minutes, and then the doors creak open before you, being pulled inwards by a couple of soldiers. And the people behind you start to push against the masses, that is, whoever is at the back of the party. And the line moves forward. The whole group of people is brought into the main audience hall. Now, this main audience hall is maybe 30 feet long, 20 feet wide. It's got large columns that run down the center of it. And at the back of the hall is a great throne upon a dais. This doesn't look like the normal sort of audience hall you would have for a baron. This looks like the audience hall for a king. Like maybe a small king, but it definitely looks more like a king's audience hall. And seated on the chair at the very back and on top of this dais is this old man. He's got to be 90, 95. He's withered, he's wrinkled, his long hair comes down to past his shoulders. He's kind of almost curled up in his chair, leaning against one side. His feet are still down towards the ground, but he's got a tilt to him, and his head is resting slightly on the side of the throne. On a small stool sitting next to him is Barthas, or who you presume to be Barthas.
I walk direct because I'm in front of everybody because I was face to the door and I tromp forward right as we came in.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk up to the steps and I take a knee and I say, "Great Baron, we have been told you have a magic sword and that in exchange for it you would like some wyverns exterminated. We will help you."
Yes, there's a problem. Barthas, deal with this creature, please. I'm so tired. Barthas stands up, and when he does, you get to realize how tall he is. I mean, he's nowhere near Maribel height. He's only 6'7", but still, he's 6'7". He's quite tall. He's not very big around. He's fairly slender for his height. And he stands before you, human male, early 30s-ish, and says in a fairly clear voice to you, "The reward for slaying the wyverns is the coral sword," he says as he reaches down and picks up a sword that was resting on the ground next to his stool. He pulls it from its sheath, and you see it's a scimitar with a kind of pale, like a peach pale blade that has all these little bumps, darker yellow bumps across it. The blade is attached to a purple and violet hilt. The colors on this thing are really bright and shining, and you can understand why they call it a coral sword. Got this yellowish, coral-looking and coral-textured blade and this bright, rough-handled hilt. And as he raises it abroad, you can hear the murmurings from the crowd behind you.
When the Baron called me creature, my nostrils flared with like distaste. But then as soon as he held up the sword, they flared with like excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to calmly say, pray tell us what magic is contained within this weapon.
The coral sword was used to quell the original inhabitants of this island when our pauses as if he's trying to pick his words carefully here. Our long line of kings, he says, motioning towards the Baron on the throne, first came here and made this their land. It has been the symbol of our people for ages. But now that we are under the heel of another empire, now that wyverns have come and our people are too few in number to defeat them, we must give up this sacred and ancient artifact in order to keep us alive. You here, creature. Are you the one that will slay the wyvern?
I will answer your question as soon as you answer mine. You have told me what the sword was used for, but not what magic is contained within it. It is a beautiful sword, but if it is merely a beautiful sword, I have no interest in it.
And does your mind understand the inner workings of magic? If I were to explain this to you, could you even understand it?
Could you understand that in battle, I would need to know what my sword could do?
Your sword will rend your enemies. They will bleed out before you.
Is that not what a normal sword does?
He gets a little bit of a wry smile on his face, and asks you to extend your arm.
I do not think I will, thank you.
Do you not want a first-hand demonstration?
No, I would like to keep my hand, thank you.
I will not remove it from you.
Demonstrate it upon yourself, O worthy wizard.
He smiles and sheathes the sword, and says, "Has anyone else come to slay the wyvern and to earn the coral sword?" And a voice from a little bit behind you and to the side says, "Yes! We are here to claim the coral sword." Everyone
I look annoyed.
A man, behind him is another man, another woman, steps forward and says, "We have come in order to slay the beast. But a man cannot split a sword 3 ways. And we would hate to deprive our barony," he says with a little disgust in his voice, "of its most ancient treasure. We ask instead for gold, the gold value of the sword, so that we may humbly split it amongst the 3 of us." Barthas says, "Unfortunately, that is not acceptable. The sword is what we offer in exchange."
As an aside, while this is happening, I go over to the book club, the Owls, and I'm like, can you sense in any way the worthiness of this sword?
Do you think, Algren?
We can try. I'm not sure. This is beyond my expertise.
I could cast a simple detect magic to see its power, but sometimes it defends people, or so I heard.
Well, I would say try to detect magic. If you want.
I do a bit of thinking as a merchant. What do I think the weakest type of magic sword is worth?
It's hard to put a price on something like magic sword, but on the orders of thousands of gold, maybe 10,000 gold for the weakest magic sword.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's really hard to classify what the weakest magic sword could be, but
Right.
On the order of thousands of gold.
Maribel's just kind of like waiting for instructions because she knew the plan up to this point. But now that she's not sure that there is a magic sword, she doesn't know what the plan is. So she's just kind of like looking around.
Well, I turn to those three. I suppose your loss will be our gain then, as we will slay the wyvern and take the sword.
No. We will slay the wyvern and take the sword.
Then you do that.
And then we will slay them and take the sword?
I whispered to Mirabelle, that's the right mindset, but not in public, please.
Okay.
Then I say, would you mind if I cast a simple detect magic spell in order to know the type of sword it is, to see if it interests us and is worth our time?
Another sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
I welcome you into my presence. It has been too long since I've spoken with another of the divine arts. Please, use your divination spells.
That's right. We're all the way from the Spice Islands, So, we've got the...
Oh, shit.
that we've come a long distance to collect.
The Spice Islands? You don't say. What brings travelers from so far away to our humble little barony?
Oh, we're adventurers, we travel. I'm a bard. I like to travel wherever, and these three are my companions.
I'm well versed in geology and geography. Tell me, where in the Spice Isles are you from?
We're from Luton, if you've heard of that humble little village.
I butt in. Do you think your mind could contemplate the intricacies of the geography of the islands?
Yes.
I look at him with like a look that says like, I know this person, but man. If only you knew. If only you knew.
I know it's a bit far away. Are you aware of our humble origins?
I am not aware of this town you speak of, but I know the Spice Isles. As I said, I'm a master of geography. On which island is Volutin?
It's the one with the mountain, the Valley Suvius mountain.
I see, he says. You guys kind of notice his fingers twitch a little bit across the blade, across the handle of the sword as he holds it, when you say Mount Valusuvius.
We took a bit of a shortcut to get here, if you get my drift.
Yes, I see that you have a wizard in your presence. Teleportation spells are very useful for long-distance travel.
I put my hand on Bruno and I'm like, yes, indeed, they are quite useful.
And you must be such a powerful sorcerer to teleport you and your companions here.
No, not just him, I say. I am also a powerful wizard.
Two!
I look at him with like the look that says, yeah, him too, goddammit.
Well,
he's more of a bard, but I mean, he can pick up some things here and there.
it is certainly my lucky day, and a lucky day for all of us, that such great wizards have come from so far to slay our beasts. You have the entire barony watching you.
I sense an opportunity and I say, are there any other wizards in this area? Or sages or the like?
Perhaps that is a question for after this meeting. But I and my apprentices are of the arcane arts.
Well, which magic do I sense when I cast detect magic?
Excellent. Let's find out. I need to look up. That's a very good question. One I did not expect you to ask. So give me a moment while I figure that out.
Yeah, while he searches, there's like music that starts in the throne room. Yeah, this one.
I mean, I already have the answer, but I don't want you to stop. Just
I mean, we can just do the rest of the show that way.
You detect a moderate amount of power coming from the sword. And what level are you? Because you only have a 10% chance per level to detect the type. What?
I am level 2.
And lucky you.
Wow!
It is. You detect the aura of necromancy.
Oh, so I replied to him because he has noticed that I am a great wizard. So I'm like, oh, necromancy, I see.
Ooh. Nice.
A murmur runs through the crowd, and he says, "It is not what you think, fellow people. Necromancy is the art of life forces. And this blade, well, this blade is excellent at ending them. Fear not, it has nothing to do with the undead."
That would tend to make some sense. I have my theories of what this blade could do. I believe it.
Okay, so other people start to come forward with their complaints and their questions, and so-and-so's son broke my fence and 6 of my sheep escaped. Now I think I should get 6 of his sheep in exchange because, the troubles of the common folk come to the focus. And the 5 of you plus the 3 others that had expressed interest in going after the wyvern are shuffled to the back. The other group approaches your group, and their leader, who spoke up earlier, introduces himself as Zelendil. He's about 6'1", 175 pound, human male. He extends his hand towards... I guess he extends his hand towards Maribel and says, "My name is Zelendil. What is yours?"
My name is Maribel, fellow warrior. From whence do you come?
My people, he says, gesturing to the others with him, come from Weston. Perhaps we could form an alliance. We are after gold. You are after the sword.
Weston, the hotel province, correct?
I do not know of any hotel provinces. But you are strangers to our land, so I understand your confusion. No, Weston is the name for the western side of the isle.
I see.
I heard there's great bedding over there.
Yes, the home of the great heavenly bed. Also 24-hour room service.
Are you mocking my homeland?
No, in fact, I have heard great tales of its wonder.
I see.
Anyway, I see no issue with joining forces. We could certainly use more swords against wyverns. What say you, Mayor Bruno?
Sounds like a match made. Now, how do you propose we get the gold? Do you think the wyvern will have a lot of it?
That might be possible.
I bet the wyvern has lots of gold up on its mountain lair, but we would be fools to journey there. The mountains are more dangerous than the wyvern itself. I was hoping the lot of you would have enough gold on you to pay us off. He looks at his companions. We could reasonably settle for 200 gold each.
Oh. I smirk.
Wait, what are we paying you to do?
For our assistance in slaying the wyvern?
Oh, then don't you want to go to its lair?
Perhaps we should discuss this in another setting. he says. I imagine the wyvern's lair to be fraught with danger.
Sure, we can discuss terms and strategy.
Right. He leads you guys out of the keep and towards a local bar. He takes you guys to the Hot Pint.
Oh my gosh. Can I just say, I've been fiddling with my audio settings for like 10 minutes, being like, what is that weird droning hum I'm hearing? Is it coming from outside? What is it? It's music in Roll20 that I couldn't hear. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry for that outburst. I'm just...
Nice. That's wonderful. Anyway, he takes you to the Hot Pint. It's a little cozy tavern built near your inn, actually. And this place does have heated floors. It's really weird. Everyone's walking around in bare feet. There's like a stack of boots when you first walk in on the side. And everyone's walking around on these wooden floors in bare feet. There's a young boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old, with a broom going around and sweeping up after everyone. And various drinks are being served. Most of them have steam rising from them. The man you're speaking with sits you guys down at a table and says, all right, so let's talk strategy. We were going to plan on setting some sort of trap, maybe using animals as bait and ambushing it when it came to get the animals. You say you want to climb Ice Cap and get them that way?
Well, you see, how else will we find the wyvern's treasure if we do not slay it in its lair?
This is a very valid point.
He nods. It's a good point. A lot of treasure
Unless
to be
you know
found.
where its lair is already, then we could bring it down here, and then we could hike up to the lair.
He leans to where a window is and points out to the large mountain you guys saw earlier. Well, she lives up on Ice Cap. That's for certain. Where exactly? I mean, we got like you can kind of see where it is that she goes. Within probably a few 100 feet. The issue is getting up there. There ain't no path. Are you guys mountain climbers?
I got in my spell book, and then I start like flipping pages, making sure I look very knowledgeable doing it. I have no classes. Never mind.
Oh, it's easy. We fly up there. I just offhandedly say.
Do you have a flying spell, my dear?
He is not a deer. He is a bard.
Do you have a flying spell, my bard?
I'm displeased by how she says that. My bard. I feel as though I'm worried about the possessiveness of that.
Now, I'm not only your bard, Albert. I am the bard of the people.
I nod. Yes.
Or I do the same laugh as you. Ho, ho, ho. It looks super abnormal for my character when he does that. It's really messed up. Kind of creepy. Yeah, I do not possess any flying spells. Do you? Ho, ho, ho.
Why else would I propose such a thing?
I put my hand on the table and I say, this may be a strange idea, but I have walked up mountains before. It is possible we could try that.
He nods slowly. It would be dangerous.
I think flying may also be dangerous.
I'm sure once we kill the wyvern, walking up there will be a simple task.
Agreed. Let us take action. What should we do now?
Well, we were going to use bait.
What kind of bait? You said animals. Where will we get them?
Going to buy some sheep. Maybe some pigs. I don't know. Maybe a cow or something.
No cows.
Right. I meant water buffalo or something.
No bison.
Right. We're gonna get some sheep then.
Sheep.
Sheep?
Sheep.
We were gonna get some sheep and try and set an ambush. We hadn't actually gotten to figure out the rest of it though. You guys
I
got
like
any
this
ideas?
plan.
Do you have any ideas on how to exactly what to do?
You shall buy sheep. We shall put the sheep at the base of the mountain. Then we shall hide.
I feel like we can go a little bit more in depth about this plan. How about we try to capture the horrible beast, or at least restrain it significantly? I mean, I've heard that what is dangerous about it is its tail, as well as I feel there was something else. Let me look through my notes. Deadly poison, 35 foot long. Pine spur has a sage in it. No, that's not it.
Restrain it. Yeah, maybe we can get some sort of
A net.
a net or like what do you call those things? You know, the thing with the tree and it bounces and it wraps a coil around the foot of something like a bear trap sort of thingy.
Like a wyvern trap.
Yeah, I'm like tie it to a tree and hack it to death.
Here you go. I'm in my notes. Right after the pine spurs note. Wyvern. It has poison in its tail and an ability of flight. I say that like super, as if it was a huge deal that I know this stuff. An ability of flight. We could prepare by having something to neutralize the poison and chaining it to the ground. A cow could have done the trick, but can certainly do it with sheep.
I don't know about neutralizing any poison, but you're the wizard, so you tell me.
I look to Albert. I'm like, Albert, do you have any knowledge about wyverns and how to neutralize their poison?
Nope. I do not. I don't even know what a wyvern is.
Don't you have a proficiency for that?
Do I?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No herbalism, no poison herbalism.
Well, I have lots of books. I can read up on that.
And who knows? Maybe our good friend Barthus knows a thing or two. He seems like the type of guy who's smart.
Clever man, says Zelendil. Galdria, the woman with them, speaks up, addressing Algrund, and says, "Wyverns, they're like smaller, stupider dragons. They're big winged lizards. Their arms are their wings, and they got big haunches for legs, and like a scorpion tail that comes out the back with a big stinger that will sting you to death."
Yeah.
So how many dragons have you lot killed before?
They just laugh. None, of course. I mean, never even seen a dragon.
No,
So,
of course.
Considering that we're here in this crazy village that has insane technology of like technology of floor heating, I was wondering, what if we pay some gnomes to craft us a crazy good trap made out of that technology they speak of?
Zelendil speaks up and goes, "You clearly haven't lived with gnomes before. It took them like 150 years to get the floors heated. The first time they did it, it blew up a house. Literally exploded the house, and the head engineer died."
I mean, if it did explode on contact, it wouldn't be such a bad thing either.
You know, you might be right.
Explosions would be good, actually. I'm all for explosions.
I'm afraid we don't have 100 years, though.
I mean, everything's relative. I'm 328 years old. 100 years is nothing.
We are not all relatives.
Yes, you're not my... Clearly, you and I are not related. You're
No.
correct with the statement.
But explosions would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a bomb of some kind.
as you guys begin to discuss the specifics of your plans, why don't we take our first break, and we'll come back with a little bit more Misscliks D&D Seaborn on the other side. See you guys shortly. Bye-bye.